First of all, I mean, I've been saying that this is all, this is about Moby Dick, and I don't know if we can see this, but this report, I mean, I was once covering a story where a judge said, there was a big brief, the judge said, pick your 5 best pages. I mean, I feel like he should pick his 5 best pages. But it is, I mean, the notion of discretionary cash flow, that is discretionary nature of allocations. I would say that borders on what may be considered accounting that's not right. And I think Larry Culp has been so transparent that I would not, that's not what I would hit him on. Now, there are some things about the cycles. But I don't think I'll defend Larry Culp on accounting.
You know, we've spent a lot of time on this show praising Tusa, I think for good reason, in part because he did an enormous amount of digging, and almost on a forensic basis in terms of trying to understand where cash flow was not actually coming from. And in this report, he does more of it in terms of talking about a $1.3 billion undisclosed tax benefit from pension, a key accounting inconsistency overlooked. But I will also have to say that he's gotten the stock wrong over the last 6 months, at least. He never had a buy anywhere near on it. I think he goes from 6 to 5. This has been a $10 stock recently. He missed a 50% move in that stock. And while it is true that many of the investors, if you were to measure the company on free cash flow, it would come up short. I think a lot of them are just looking at the sum of the parts value at this point. They believe it's a real business with real market share, and they believe that Mr. Culp is going to be able to eventually get those businesses running well, particularly power. And so it'll be interesting to see whether Tusa's argument that it should be about a multiple to cash flow, and therefore it's not there because there is no cash flow, or whether some of the parts continues to sort of grab investors who are positive and keep them there.
Yeah, that's a great summary. I mean, I think that there are a lot of people who say, look, I can buy the stock with 2020 earnings. And what he's saying is you can't.
Right.
And that the reset year is not this year. It may be next year. And it's a very harsh, I think, piece because of what David said. That he wants, I felt like this was, let's knock it down. So let's get real here. Not, he's not hating short sellers, but I think the point you made is really correct, David. At 6, that was the time to upgrade, because on a percentage basis, you add 4 points to 6. You really had a great trade.
Oh, yeah, if you were lucky enough to have bought it at 6, yeah.
So,
and not having owned it previously.
Right. And look, I want to get Larry's comment. I mean, if this comes out Monday morning, and we'll probably, it's like a podcast, I might finish it Friday. The return, I mean, the insurance is still an issue here. I thought that we put that to rest.
So it sounds like you're resistant to Tusa's argument, period.
Well, I think that I'm going to say something that I want to buy Culp. I want to buy Culp. How about that? I think that the deal he did with Danaher was really great. I think that Culp could read this and say, okay, well, I am going, and Culp and Tusa have mutual respect. I'm going to do some of the things that he says, and I'm also going to try to accelerate things in power. I think that this is more of if you worked at GE and you presented this, he would say, okay, let's study this. Let's see what we can correct if we're off. Because that's who Larry Culp is. And Steve Tusa is a great guy, and Culp knows that. So this is not anything other than, okay, here's some things that we ought to work on, guys. It's like a working document of what Culp has to do. It's not adversarial.